So Izzy has turned heel. This style bender, the last style bender, has turned heel. And he's not good at it. He's just kind of a prick that offends people. And that sounds like a heel, but it's not. Heels are supposed to be kind of likable, that you're supposed to root against. Michael Bisping was a great heel. Izzy, he came out, he charged the ring afterwards. Apparently he and Dana White set it up that Izzy will be allowed in the ring, start building the next fight against Dricus. And Dricus won. Dricus won. Okay, Dricus won. Nobody picked him. I mean, very few people picked him. Everyone was saying, yeah, Whitaker's going to smoke him. He's better everywhere. And Whitaker looked real good and then got clipped or had his knee kicked or something. Fell a little bit towards the end of the first, taken down and beaten up a little bit. Bloodied up. But Dricus looked wonderful. He was reading the situation. You could see within the first round, he changed his style. He changed his game plan. He changed what he was doing. He won the fight. TKO round 2. Celebrating with the world. It's like, yes, he knows he just got the title fight. Izzy jumps in the cage. Now, Izzy, I would like to read you the transcript of what Izzy said. Izzy said, yeah, I can't say a word of what Izzy said. I can't do it. It would cancel me, and rightfully so. Izzy came out with a string of, I would say, cuss words. He might not. He might, I mean, white guys couldn't say what he said. He said it so aggressively, I don't think most black guys could have said what Izzy said. And he just laid into him for no reason. And then he said something about, I don't care about 26 and me, but 26 and me would be in my set. He was very confusing with his point. He said, you don't know where you're from. 26 and me could tell you, because I'm from Nigeria, but I don't need 26 and me. He was a very not thought out. Chael Sonnen plays the heel. To this day, he still plays the heel pretty well. Like, he's very likable. Everybody wants to hear him talk. Izzy, nobody wants to hear him talk. Luke Rockhold is very similar. Luke Rockhold, nobody wants to hear him talk. Izzy, he needs a Paul Heyman. He needs somebody to run the mic for him. If he wants to be heel, fine, but be clever. Don't just cuss at people. Don't just say words that kind of turns off the audience. He was so offensive that they started going, I had to turn it off. My kids were in the room. I don't want them hearing that. I feel bad for the kids that were in the audience because nobody wants to hear that. You don't want to be forced to hear N-word this, N-word that, N-word this, N-word, N-word, N-word. It just rattled off. I'll bet you it was 12, 15 different times he threw that N-word at Dricus. For what? For no reason. Dricus lives in South Africa, was born in South Africa, trains in South Africa. He is South African. It makes no difference where his great-grandpappy came from. He is South African. That's where he's from. And maybe Izzy is from, I think he said Nigeria. Izzy is from Africa as well, so they're both African, whatever. But Izzy can say that word when it was just off-putting. There was nothing clever behind it. He was just, man, you're a this, you're a that. And he didn't do it well. He had every opportunity, and good Lord, it looks like he's thought about what he wanted to say. Maybe he was drunk. Maybe that's what happened. It was Las Vegas. Maybe he had a few too many cocktails. But he got in there, and whatever he thought he was going to say, he didn't say it. He just spewed the N-word over and over again. Hated. Post-fight interview comes, and Dricus, he made a fan out of me. I mean, he represented himself. He's like, listen, it's uncalled for what he did. He is the champion. People look up to him. And for him to act like such a clown is disrespectful to the sport, disrespectful to the fans of the sport. He said, it's not what I am. I am a gentleman. I will present myself as a gentleman. By the way, he looked fantastic in his plaid suit. It was fantastic. He was dressed to the nines, and he looked it. He got in there and represented himself, represented the sport very well. Izzy did not. Izzy was a slur of cuss words and just ramblings that didn't make any sense to anyone out there. There was nothing clever, nothing well thought out about what he said. And I was very upset by it because I've always liked Izzy. Izzy and I, when Brock Lesnar came into the ring and shoved Daniel Cormier, Izzy and I were in the stands talking about Popeye's chicken. Curtis Blades, I believe, was there with us too. A long time ago. Anyways, he and I have always been chummy. You know, I've been a fan. I've defended him when people say he's a boring champ. I said, listen, he's the champion. He doesn't have to elevate the fight. He has to defend his title. Everyone else has got to elevate it. And I've always defended him. He's a very talented fighter. He's very good at what he does. I can't defend what he did. And as a friend, I hope he changes tactics. I wouldn't expect him to ever say I'm sorry, but I hope he comes out and says, something different. I hope he drops that attitude that he had for no reason. I know he's trying to sell a fight. He's not selling it. Dricus sold it. Dricus came out and represented the polar opposite of what Izzy was putting forward. And I liked it. I've always been a fan of Izzy. Dricus made me a fan last night, and he did it by being a polite gentleman, as he continuously called himself. Now, Dana White, on the other hand, Dana White, in any given situation, in any room, at any moment of the day, he is likely the smartest or one of the top 2 smartest people in the room. A reporter asked him, said, "Hey, what's up with that? I know you don't like doing that kind of stuff." And Dana said, "We discussed it, and I wanted to say no, but he talked me into it. He said nothing bad had happened." I said, "Okay." So he let Izzy come into the cage. And they asked, "Well, what about this racial thing?" The reporter asked him, "What about this racial thing that's going on?" And Dana's like, "Huh? What racial thing? What racial thing happened? No, huh?" And just played dumb. For the smartest man in any room, he's like, "Huh? I don't know what you're talking." I mean, he made like, "I don't know what happened. Who said what?" And he said, "Well, he's black. He can say what he wants." I thought Dana came off looking real bad there as well. He just tried to play dumb, or fighters are gonna say. He didn't say anything, but tried real hard to make sure everybody knew he didn't know anything. And it just struck me as weird as well. It was almost as if he and Izzy knew exactly what was going to happen, or maybe Izzy said it and Dana just hid. Said, I can't know about this because I don't want to have to defend what he just said. Funny story about Dana. I was fighting over in Australia. I think it was Daniel Kelly I was fighting. He was backstage and he said, "Guys, it is very important. I know, just so you know, Australians, I know you guys say the C word all the time. It's like nothing to you. But in America, it means something. You don't, please, I'm begging you, do not say the C word on TV. Don't." So the C word is such a big deal. I'm Dana effing White, and I'm saying the C word, not the actual word. It's a big deal in America. Do not say the C. We all laughed. Oh, we won't say it. Because over in Australia, it's apparently something they say often. So that's Dana White. Dana White would have to, he'd say, "Oh yeah, it was," I don't know why he would say N-word, N-word, N-word. Dana doesn't want to have to deal with that. So it struck me as weird. And just so you know, I made a video all about this already. I had video clips, I had pictures, I had everything locked in. I had stuff from last night put in, I posted it. And the UFC took it down. Well, YouTube took it down. I'm fighting it. So as soon as I get cleared, I'll post it back up. But they said they have 30 days to clear it. And in 30 days, I'll repost it. Maybe you guys like it there. But I'm sorry, this is just me talking and trying to remind you of what was said last night. It was so well done. It was like the nicest YouTube I had ever made. I spent time on it. I planned it. I searched out. I did everything right. And then YouTube said, "Nope, you can't use the UFC's property." And I put my face. There was not a single UFC clip that I wasn't represented on. I don't get it. But anyways, thank you for watching. Please follow, at least. Like, comment, tell me this. And if you have anything you would like me to talk about next, or the Izzy thing is a racial thing, despite what Dana White says. There is stuff that maybe I am not saying. That there's nothing I'm not saying. I know I was offended by what he said. All right? I was offended I wasn't offended, but he shouldn't have said it. I love fighting. My kids love fighting. They love watching fights with me, and I had to turn it off because Izzy was spouting his mouth in a bad way. I didn't like that. Love you guys.